Picture the year 1974. By February, inflation had surged to double digits, and it didn't let up for over a year. It stayed painfully high until May of 1975. Every trip to the gas station or grocery store was more expensive than last, and paychecks just couldn't keep up. Things weren't much better anywhere else. The stock market had lost roughly one third of its value from the start of the decade to late 1974, wiping out savings and confidence. At the same time, unemployment topped 7%, leaving many Americans worried not just about higher prices, but about whether they'd even have a job. Ironically, this mess started with good intentions. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Federal Reserve kept money flowing freely in hopes of achieving full employment. Instead, too much money chasing too few goods caused prices to explode. Eventually, the Fed slammed on the brakes. Under new leadership, it reversed course and began raising interest rates aggressively. The impact was dramatic. Mortgage rates climbed into the double digits by 1978 and kept rising, eventually peaking at a jaw-dropping 18.45% in 1981. This period became known as the Great Inflation, one of the most turbulent economic chapters in modern U.S. history. It officially stretched from 1965 to 1982, beginning under President Lyndon B. Johnson and continuing through the administrations of Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, and Jimmy Carter. The most painful stretch hit from late 1972 into the early 1980s. Economist Jeremy Siegel later called it the greatest failure of American macroeconomic policy in the post-war period. So what caused it? Blame was everywhere. OPEC oil shocks, the abandonment of the gold standard, aggressive government spending, loose monetary policy, union wage pressures, corporate pricing power, even plain old psychology as people began to expect inflation and acted in ways that made it worse. What finally stopped it wasn't easy. Inflation only came back under control after a brutal period of tight money and recession, proving a hard lesson. Once inflation takes hold, getting rid of it is painful, slow, and costly. The bottom line: the 1970s showed how quickly inflation can erode buying power, distort markets, and push mortgage rates towards 20%. And it reminded policymakers and homeowners that stability only comes after tough choices. I hope this information helps. If it does, give me a like and a follow, and I hope you have a great day.